For the longest time, everybody has recommended Adobe Illustrator as the go-to program for vector design, as it is supposedly the top dog in the field. And if we were still in 2015, I could see where you're coming from. But it's 2021 now. And I would go as far as saying Illustrator is the worst vector design software out there. Because Adobe is a greedy pile of shit, and they are fully aware that their programs have rooted so deep inside the industry that it is virtually impossible for big companies to change their software and workflow. Therefore, Adobe doesn't have to try anymore, because the companies have to buy their programs whether they like it or not. It's not like they can gather every employee and be like, alright guys, listen, we're gonna change our entire software pipeline, which not only means the previous files and plugins and stuff will become obsolete, but you also need to learn the new program ASAP or you're fired. See why that's not gonna happen? And I will never stop ragging on Adobe for taking advantage of these poor people. These companies are practically stuck in this stinking swamp known as Adobe Creative Cloud. And unless you want to get hired at one of said companies, you should avoid these cancer cells at all cost. Believe it or not, there are so many better options out there, and no, I'm not saying this because of the price tag. I would not recommend Adobe programs even if they were free. You might be asking, well, what are your criteria for choosing a software? For my money, a program needs to have a great user interface, have proper tools to remove as much burden from my shoulders as possible, not crash on me every 5 minutes, be generally fun to use, and in a nutshell, a good software needs to provide me the environment so that I can only worry about the art that I'm making instead of the software technical issues. And the quote-unquote technical issues are far larger than just crashing or poor optimization. You probably hear this sentence a lot. The software doesn't matter, it's only the artist that matters. That's not true. If a program is buggy, if it has inconsistent workflow, and if it does something for no other reason than to annoy you, then it'll make you dedicate a lot of brain power to deal with its problems, and as a result, stray away from the art and creativity part. And I would rather inject hot piss into my veins instead of wasting my time with that. Figma, on the other hand, is something that I would call an amazing program. Is it the best vector design program? No. Would I recommend everyone to drop their beloved programs and switch to it? No. I will, however, recommend the beginner to start learning vector with Figma. And there are a few reasons for that. First of all, it's free. There are paid plans for more professional options though, but if you have just started, you won't really need them, so we're fine. Secondly, it's not even a vector design program. I know, shocking. Why would I recommend a UI UX design app for vector drawing? And why is that a good thing to be listed here? The reason is, first of all, I don't care about labels. If a program does something exceptionally good, I will use it for that thing. And out of all the vector programs in the world, Figma, without a doubt, has the best pen, period. I probably should have warned you to bring an extra set of pens because what you're about to see may open your dam, if you know what I mean. That's right, the pen allows you to connect as many lines as you want to a single anchor point. That in itself should be enough for you to at least give it a try, but there is more. Every other program has a buttload of tools and abilities, some of them which are designed for various specific purposes. Now, of course, these tools need to exist because professionals need them to be efficient in their work. But for a beginner, opening this is like walking into the pilot cabin for the first time. It can be intimidating and can also traumatize people. You might think I'm exaggerating, but I've actually met so many fellows who admitted they would love to try digital art. but they can't get over the complexity of the software. Figma, on the other hand, is like, yo, this is your pen and your artboard. Have fun. Hehe, smiley face. Okay, obviously I'm joking. I love you, baby. Give me a kiss. But it certainly doesn't have those fancy tools which even the most brain-dead people can mash them together and get a somewhat decent result out of it. You would never want the software to make you feel like some tremendous fucking beast after you created a beautiful shape on accident. It gives you a false sense of pride and confidence while you haven't put any effort into it yet. You will lose motivations for learning, you will start talking shit to other artists because you feel like you're professional, and I'd imagine nobody wants to end up like this. So we're gonna stick to Figma, which doesn't have anything distracting, besides that sexy user interface, of course. Oof, look at that. Now you might be wondering, if Figma is not even a vector design program, then how in the blue blazes are we supposed to find tutorials? Well, fear not, my dear audience, that's why I'm here. So yeah, I just shamelessly took several minutes of your precious life to tease my Figma series, which will be coming up on this very channel.